Welcome to Church Unusual, the place where we discuss matters kingdom, and we are tracking right now from the principle we get from the book of Job, where he says, ask the beasts, they will tell you. Ask the birds of the air, they will teach you. Ask the earth, you will learn from it. In other words, all these things tell us about the goodness of the Lord, about his creativity, about the principles hidden, because we fell. We fell and we left all these principles hidden in creation, but God kept them to help us find our path back to him. My name is Charles Opiyo, and with me is...
My name is Susan Opiyo, and welcome to the program.
As we continue to look down this road, we are trying to understand and to extract principles from creation. We are looking at the fig leaf, significant tree.
Oh yes, it is.
Found in creation, third tree to be mentioned, the only tree to be cursed by Jesus.
I think we're looking at this tree from a point of, we've been talking sonship.
Yes.
We've been saying that man fell from sonship to he became an orphan.
Yes.
Now we are looking at principles of how to be sons. But this is the one tree that is showing us what not to be.
Absolutely.
What not to do.
Absolutely.
And we have looked issues like this is a tree that actually defied an immutable truth.
Yes.
This is a son who defies immutable truth. This is a funny tree.
Yes.
We have looked at this tree and now we are saying another interesting part about this tree
Yes.
is that it attracts the company of good people.
Now,
That
you see,
sounds-
that sounds really funny because we
Yes.
are saying this tree is a tree whose primary principle is not good. Jesus cursed it.
Yes.
Said no one will eat from it. And yet, this tree attracts a company of good people.
Now, can we look at that from Mark chapter 11, verse
Yes.
13?
Yes.
And seeing the fig tree afar off, having leaves, he came. This is Jesus.
Yes.
He came, if haply he might find anything there. And when he came to it, he found nothing but leaves, for the time of figs was not yet. And Jesus answered and said unto it, no man eat of you hereafter. And his disciples heard it.
Wow. The principal word there, afar off.
He saw from afar off.
In other
it
words,
actually attracts.
it is attractive.
This
It
is a son who attracts.
Very attractive.
Yes.
When you see it from afar, you want to come close.
Yes.
You want to be part of this tree. In other words, every external activity gives you the impression it's a place you want to be.
Because, like we said, a fig tree bears fruit before the leaf.
Yes.
So when I see the leaf and I see it is so green, I see that I know, automatic, I
You
know
know.
that there is fruit.
Yes.
So from afar off, Jesus saw it. That kind of a tree, the leaf, it was so beautiful.
Yes.
It actually attracted Jesus and
Absolutely.
his disciples. And that's where we get our principle that a fig tree attracts the company of good people.
And it's a sad thing because after doing that,
Yeah.
it highly disappoints them.
It is disappointing when you come close.
And you know the power of this statement can be applied across. We see this thing everywhere. We see it in courtship,
Yes.
in relationships.
Yes.
We see somebody meets people externally, they go dating, the picture they are given is a picture of somebody. When you eventually get serious and get married, it's like, I followed the leaves. Where's the fruit?
Where is the leaf? I mean,
Yeah.
you're already in marriage
Yes.
now. But now you're coming closer and you're like, you know what? From afar off, it not only wins your eye,
Yes.
but it actually attracts you.
Yes, it does.
So Jesus comes close and finds no fruit. And like you're saying, there are marriages where somebody came in. You're already into
Yes.
this marriage.
Yes.
But I find no fruit. But
And
I'm already here.
Yes. And this is a very scary character. It means we have to be very careful not to be impressed by externals, not to be moved by structure, by beauty. I mean, think about anything. The fig tree tells us a lot. How do people get conned? You're offered something amazing.
It's beautiful.
It's a big
It attracts
plan.
you.
Yes. How did Eve get trapped? It was attractive. Everything about the fig leaf is attractive to you. And it attracts in such a way that you conclude for yourself.
This is good.
There is already fruit. There must be fruit.
So a fig leaf believer
Yes.
attracts the company
Yes.
of good people. And I'm going
Yes.
to read something here that I wrote. The prominence and bold profession that is not accompanied by fruitfulness leads to disappointment to those attracted to a fig leaf believer.
So the profession is good.
It's there.
The statements are good.
When I hear.
These are the things that become difficult, especially, and I'll speak now for ministers, as ministers.
Okay.
One of the things that confuses people sometimes when they come around us, and this has come from ourselves having made great mistakes,
Yes.
having grown from early fruit to late fruit.
Yes.
One of the things that is never impressive at the beginning is eloquence. Never impressive at the beginning is gifts and talents. Because some people are greatly talented, but they are broken inside.
Oh, yes.
And they use the talent to cover the brokenness. And when you don't know that, that's dangerous territory.
I think that's somewhere you need to discuss that
Yes.
so that we talk about these people.
Yes, because you see, we learn to cope in the world.
Okay.
Adam created a system for coping to hide nakedness.
And that's what we are calling fig leaves, covering yourself with fig leaves.
So these are the people who will come to your environment greatly gifted and talented. But always, if you do a little bit of research, you'll discover there's a disconnect between the giftedness and their reality in life.
Their profession
Yes,
is
something
not,
is not entering.
Yes.
A great musician will come, but when you get into his life, it's broken. Very skilled speaker will come, but when you get into his life, something is broken. Why? Because there's been a reproduction of the fig tree.
They are covering themselves with the fig leaves.
Exactly.
So when you reach and see the prominence of this gift, and you see the bold profession of this person,
Yes.
now, like you're saying, inside they are broken.
Yes.
Now, you know something interesting? Jesus never judged the tree from
Yep.
far.
He came
saw the
close.
tree. He came close to
He
it.
came close.
Yes, he was attracted by this
Yes.
boldness and this profession.
Yep.
Yes, it will attract. But we don't judge from far and say, you know what, that is that. He says,
Yep.
get attracted.
Get
yes,
close.
come close.
It's okay. And what we normally
Interact.
do
Yes.
is that when we come close, the problem Jesus had a problem with the tree is because the tree misled.
Okay.
Not because the tree was in error. There's a difference.
Yeah?
If you're in error, you can be corrected, but when you mislead, then there's a problem. And this is the difference, like I said, with ministry people, that sometimes as you draw them close and you tell them for a season, "Here, look, I know you're a great singer, but I need you to sit down for a while."
Is that judgment?
It's not. It's healing. We want your gift to blossom.
So the sitting down is like
It's not a punishment.
you're actually sitting under the word
And the
so
sitting,
that it can heal you.
let me explain the sitting.
Yeah?
In the sitting, and this is where ministers we can go off,
Yeah.
sitting is not to put somebody away from you. Sitting is to sit with them. Draw them closer to you. Not to the pulpit, not to the ministry, not to the gifting.
To you as an
To
individual.
you as an individual, so
Yeah.
you can get into the depth of the heart.
Yes.
If that can be fixed, then fruit will come out.
I'm just thinking when you're talking like that, a father and his son, when the son is unwell, broken,
Yes.
what happens to the father? Does he tell him sit in the bedroom? I'll
No.
be checking from 5 if you're
Nope.
doing well. This is a child you've pulled closer.
That's the one closest. That's the one you want to know how they're going, what's going on in their life. It's
Yeah.
the one you query every day. When you walk in, they're the first one you ask about.
But church, as we know it, this is the person you kick off. Actually, most of the time, excommunicate.
You know why?
Yeah,
We don't want to be associated.
with failure.
Because we ourselves are fig leaf people. You'll expose us. You'll make everybody know nothing is happening.
Because interesting is, when you tell this person to go, they're already broken.
Yes.
Now, where are you sending them out there? To the wolves?
That's why they came with fig leaves.
Yes.
You see, that rejection is what trains them to operate fig leaves.
Okay, because they've been maybe rejected before.
So in the future, they'll hide the heart and they'll project a fake thing
Yes.
because of the rejection that they got from you.
So if they come to you as a minister and they see that you're drawing them closer, you're actually telling them, remove the fig leaves.
Yes.
No, don't be embarrassed of where you have fallen before. You are hurt. You need healing. And like you're
Yes.
saying, when you bring them closer, it's to you.
Yes.
And why are you bringing them closer to you? Because you're supposed to show them the Father. Who
Absolutely.
is supposed to be healing them.
Yes.
So,
So what you do,
yeah.
you should be able to make them comfortable to remove the fig leaves.
Yeah.
They should not feel that they will be rejected, damaged, ridiculed, or looked down on. You should make them feel that you don't need the fig leaves.
Yes.
We will help you get the correct protection you needed.
Okay, for me to identify fig leaves in a believer with somebody who has come close to me.
Yes.
To identify the fig leaves, I I must be one who does not operate in fig leaves.
Yes.
But if I'm covered with fig leaves myself, I will attract fig leaf believers.
Of course, because everybody's acting.
And when
They
they
are safe
come,
around you.
because I'm not able to heal myself, I will not be able to
Yes.
heal them.
Absolutely.
But if I am walking in the love of God, healing here is just loving them and allowing God to heal them, to walk in their lives, to remove the fig leaves. And like he keeps asking,
Yes.
where are you? He's giving them an opportunity to say, you know what, I'm covering myself. I'm trying to portray or to show that I have God. I have a covering.
Yes.
So coming and bringing them to God is where you're telling them, you know what, remove the fig leaves.
You know,
Allow God to touch you.
what is interesting?
Yeah.
Adam and Eve are humans. Why would you cover yourself with leaves? Two parameters that don't work.
Yes.
But the strange thing in Genesis 3:21, even after whatever they did, the Bible says, and God covered them with skin. In other words, some versions say animal skin.
Yes.
So we do not know all the parameters because the scripture doesn't tell us,
Yes.
but we can draw from it the pattern of Christ. Because to cover them with an animal skin, it had to be slaughtered. So it was a principle of sacrifice
Yes.
that was made for them for a covering. To cover their sin, to
Yes.
cover their nakedness, but he covered them.
Yes.
He made them comfortable. He got rid of the fig leaves.
So remove the fig leaves.
Remove the fig leaves.
Stop all this trying to cover yourself and to show like, you know what, I'm with God. Stop professing
Yes.
something you have not walked in.
True.
Stop trying to portray like I am good.
Yes.
When we are hurt, we are broken internally. That is when we need to remove all the covering. That is when we need to come to a place of you're vulnerable, where you can,
Yes.
God can reach you, touch you and heal you. You know?
That can only happen when the environment has been produced
Yes.
where people feel safe. And people can't feel safe if they don't meet others who were broken before who are now healed. You see, let me tell you why sometimes the fig leaf mentality thrives.
Yes.
It thrives because people will come around a minister, all right?
Yes.
The minister creates a fig leaf environment. So to manage that environment, you also create mystery. Access is difficult. People can't tell what really goes on the inside.
Yeah.
A few insiders can tell that there's nothing going on, but because they're insiders, the power of proximity, they keep it to themselves unless the day you kick them out.
So we are talking about fruit here. There's no fruit.
Yeah, there's no
Somebody
fruit.
can tell, no, no, no,
Now,
there's no fruit.
the people on the outside begin to catch up with each other and discover they all don't have fruit.
Yeah.
When they discover they don't all have fruit, they learn now how to operate like that.
The fig leaf.
They
So
learn how
this
to
is a
pretend
position
for
where
you.
people know, I can tell I don't have the covering. I knew I was naked.
Yes,
I was afraid when I heard your voice.
simple.
I hid myself.
Yep.
So this becomes a gathering of people who are actually hiding.
Yes.
These are people who are hiding from the voice of God. And it is only the voice of God that can replace your fig leaves
Yep.
with the love of God.
Absolutely.
What you need is the love of God.
Yes.
But as long as we keep hiding from the same voice, because when Adam says, I heard your voice,
Yep,
I was afraid and I hid.
that's it.
Don't hide. When you're broken, when you've gone wrong, that is a moment to run to him, not away from him.
But you see, we have created, like we said earlier, professing without reality. If I keep professing God is good, and we keep creating stories about the miracles that have happened,
Yes.
which are fake, if we keep saying God is doing good, which it is not, the people who come around us start feeling inadequate. They start feeling, what's wrong with me?
I'm not getting
Everybody
this thing,
seems to be getting
confessing.
except me.
Yeah.
So what do they learn quickly? To create stories also.
Immediately you're
To be
teaching them one
accepted.
thing. Run and take fig leaves.
Yes.
Create a covering for yourself.
Yeah.
This thing that you don't have, what are you missing? The presence of God. So can I cover myself? And when I cover myself, now from this point, I'm the one who is the creator of my own miracles.
Yes. So you begin manufacturing. Every other day, God did this for you. God did that for you because you want everybody convinced that God is moving with you.
Wow.
In truth, you're not reaching the place of saying, I came here looking for God.
Yes.
Something is happening. I'm not finding it. Something's not working for me. Is it me Or is everybody okay, but I am the one with the problem? And if so, what can be done for me to get out of here?
So this is now Adam, going back to the position of Adam and acknowledging, where are you? I am outside the presence of God.
Simple.
Something is not working.
Yes.
And I don't want to keep attracting the company of good people, but every time they come close, they get disappointed.
Yes, and this is very, very common in our day-to-day life.
Yeah.
People start off great, my wonderful best friend, in a short while, enemies. What happened?
No fruit.
No fruit. Why? Because the point of friendship was leaves.
Yeah.
The fig leaf point.
So when
I
they
brought
dry.
my fig leaf, I brought you, you brought your fig leaf.
Yes.
I thought you had fruit, you thought I had fruit. You soon discover I don't have fruit.
And remember one thing. There's no way, of course, we have fruit. We have brought, you have your leaves, I have mine.
Yes.
But realize when the minute you pluck them off the tree, it's only a matter of time.
They dry out.
They will dry out.
And there's no fruit.
And you'll be exposed.
Exactly. But I mistakenly think the fig tree is another tree because there are trees which show leaves and then fruit will come.
Yes.
So I'm waiting for fruit. No, in this one, it is fruit that should attract you,
Not the leaf.
not the leaf.
I think the fig tree is an interesting tree. It's an interesting tree because how do you have fruit before leaves? That is such a wonder that God already
is a
put in
wonder.
that. And God telling us as sons, when we come close to him, the first thing we get is the fruit.
That's
because it is all about fruit.
Yes.
And I like when you talk about you shall know them by their fruit, not by their leaves.
Nope.
Right now, as a fallen person, I want people to know me by my leaves. And when we
Yes.
talk about leaves, many of us will look and say, my friend, I have never covered myself with leaves. So what
Yes.
are these leaves you're talking about? What is this that you keep insisting that we are covering ourselves with leaves?
You know, if you think about it even,
Yeah.
do you know leaves don't properly identify trees? There's such similarity.
Yes.
If I just showed you leaves,
You cannot
You'd
pick out this
mistake
is
which tree.
very few who can actually identify.
only fruit can tell you a tree.
Yes.
Nothing else. So sometimes when you're under a fig leaf environment, we can claim any fruit. We can say we are apples. It's coming. You have no way of knowing.
Wait, it will come.
Yeah, it will
When
come.
you talk of the fig leaves, you are saying that you're covering yourself. Now you already know, like Adam, I no longer have the glory of God covering me. I'm naked. I cannot stay in this state.
Yes.
I take leaves. And what are leaves? This is when we as men start using our own intelligence to cover ourselves. And one of the things we use, which is so common around us as human beings, is our titles.
Oh,
Those are fig
education
leaves.
is the most powerful fig leaf you'll ever find.
Identity. You're trying to look for an
Wow.
identity.
In fact, it's so powerful that usually that becomes how we identify each other.
Yes.
Nobody even wants to call you by your name anymore. They want to call you, and you get offended when I don't use your title.
So if I come and I don't call you pastor, or I
Yes.
call you prophet,
Yes.
or I don't call you apostle,
Absolutely.
I don't call you a doctor.
You call me by my name, I get angry.
Yes. And it is
You
your
know,
name.
and it's my name.
Yes. I want my title.
Yes, call by my title. You know, it's funny, they call Jesus, Jesus.
But everybody else is man of God.
Yes.
It's
But you could call
interesting.
Jesus, Jesus, Son
Yes.
of God. Jesus. They didn't even call him Son of God.
Jesus.
Jesus.
And Jesus came to the man, and Jesus went. But when we come to a place where we have not, we identify the absence of God in our lives, titles become important. And that is when you talk to someone like so-and-so, and they tell you, excuse me, doctor, or teacher, or
No.
honorable so-and-so.
No, read the Bible. Imagine if your Bible was written. And Apostle Paul went,
Think about it.
and Apostle Peter went. It's Peter,
Paul and Mark went.
John.
But because of their action, their activities, we are the ones who call them apostles. We
Yes.
know they are by their fruit.
Yes.
So for me now, if I have the fig leaves and I insist I am teacher so-and-so,
Yes.
or I am doctor so-and-so, and when you check what I am, actually any patient in my clinic doesn't come out. They come in walking, they go out carried out. I mean,
But I am doctor.
but I am doctor. After a while, I'm like, there's no fruit.
Yes.
Can we question the fruit?
Absolutely.
You know? So when we talk of the fruit, we are talking about this is what God put in your heart. And when God put himself in you through his word,
Yes.
that is what people eat off.
So we are saying that if you are an apostle,
Yeah?
we need apostolic fruit, not an apostolic title.
Explain that, please.
Okay?
Yeah?
The grace of an apostle should be manifest in the people whom you interact with. All right? If you're a prophet, the prophetic capacity of your people should be seen, then we know you're a prophet. So your name can be John, but your people function prophetically. You're a prophet. You get the principle?
Yes.
So in other words, what we should be doing is coming into your household, doing a forensic of your people and giving you a title.
Not by you telling us.
No.
And you're telling me also, if I come to a house and this is a house of a prophet so-and-so, but everybody there is still looking for a prophetic word.
They don't know their future. They don't know what God is saying.
Something is wrong.
Then we need to say, this is the household of confused so-and-so.
Because the prophetic gift is
Nobody
not
can
manifesting.
see. This is the house of such as so-and-so. They're still searching.
They're still looking.
Yeah, because this is the grace that is manifest in those who you're interacting with.
So the question, the big question is, if God has called you, what grace is operating?
Simple.
Is it being seen by those God has given you oversight over? I mean, like, have they changed? Are they walking in that grace?
You know, it's good to say,
Yeah.
this is my title. But it's better to say, this is what God has called me to do. Because when you tell us that, that's a measurement. Your title
Yes.
is not the measurement. When you say, God called me to bring this environment, then we check that environment. If that environment is what is being made manifest, in fact, we don't even need to check it.
Yeah.
Sometimes we can observe it and even decode that this is what you are.
Yes.
By what is happening around your people. We know a lot of great ministers who've got healing and miracle gifts.
Yes.
We don't need their title. We just see what they do.
Because
It's
the
obvious.
minute I see the fruit,
We can see.
I can identify
We
you.
can see what's happening.
So I'm not just looking at like Jesus, I'm not just coming to a tree to look for leaves. The last Adam is looking for fruit.
That's it.
And I think today, if we walk to an apple tree, what are we looking for? Apples.
Apples, not the
But when we
tree.
get the apples, what happens? Our
Yes.
lives are nourished. Our lives are changed.
Yes.
So when people come to you, when they are attracted to you, what is it that they are picking from you?
Yes.
And what are they eating from you?
In fact,
Yeah?
how does a tree get its name?
By its fruit.
Simple. Its fruit is the name.
And you cannot get an apple tree bearing oranges.
Jesus said it.
A good tree cannot bear bad fruit.
And a bad tree cannot bear good fruit. So the fruit is the only identity the tree has.
So we
There's
are
no
sons of
other
God. We are
identity.
not just sons of God by confession.
No.
It is not our profession that brings us closer to God. It's not our profession that makes us sons of God.
Yes.
It is our proximity to Him which causes our fruit to come out. And that fruit is what identifies us.
You know, it is important now.
Yeah.
And that's what Jesus said, by their fruit you shall know them. Identity is in the fruit. That means that if we claim that we have a certain fruit,
Yeah.
we should say we are believing to be that fruit. The tree cannot yet be given an identity
Yeah.
until the first fruit comes out.
Is it possible for people to sit back and say, I don't know what fruit I'm producing?
Yes.
By looking around, I just can't tell you what people are eating from me. Because I'm not sure whether I'm in the kingdom, I'm outside the kingdom, I don't know what fruit I'm producing.
Yes.
How do you advise this kind of a person? What steps should somebody take?
Well, the principal order is that we are all drawing from the grapevine, Jesus himself.
Okay.
He is clear about the type of fruit that he's producing. There's a kingdom he's building.
Yes.
If I am part of that kingdom, there's a seed. Every call is a seed. So in that fruit that he is, he should be giving you a seed of that fruit, which produces after his own kind.
Not your own kind.
Not your own kind.
I think we're talking about believers who, if you remain as a fig leaf believer, you will attract a company of good people, but of course when they come close, they get disappointed. I don't want to be that kind of a believer.
Yep.
Let's come to a place where we're saying, are we covered with fig leaves? It's time to take them off. Church Unusual, keep tracking.